This is an off-election year. We're not voting statewide for our legislators, but we're voting for the people that are going to represent our communities, where we go to school, how we go to school, what streets we have. These are the people that make the decisions that affect the community.
Welcome back to this political edition of Public Affairs on Peach. Community in schools is at the top of most voters' lists when they head to the polls for Tuesday's special election. Joining me now is John Barge, a state school superintendent and candidate for governor. John, let's start by talking about what we have as far as the Atlanta School District and the race there.
Sure. Well, I think it's very important for people to realize that electing a school board is one of the most important things they can do as a community because that school board has some very critical responsibilities. Probably the most critical responsibility is choosing the superintendent for the district. And the Atlanta School Board will be doing that. The interim superintendent there, Errol Davis, he's decided he's been interim long enough, and so this school board will be selecting a new superintendent. And that superintendent will set the tone for that district and where they go.
Give me an idea of who some of the players are.
Well, I can't tell you specific. One of the interesting things about the Atlanta School Board is all 9 of their board members are up for re-election. Most school boards don't have all of their school board members turn over at the same time. So in this race, there are a number of people that are running for office. There are 4 incumbents that are not seeking re-election. You have an open seat. So you have the potential for 8 brand new school board members in the APS system. So I just encourage the people of the Atlanta community to go out, to investigate, to ask questions, to look at the backgrounds, to look at the qualifications of these people who are running for office, because they will have a very significant role in choosing the leader of their district, who in turn will be charting the course for the Atlanta public school system.
And I would imagine, John, on the heels of the cheating scandal in the Atlanta school system, that this is so critical. You have 8 seats that you said are up. I would imagine it's important to get the right people in, right, this time around.
It's critically important to get the right people in those positions. Atlanta was not the only city in the country that had to deal with the cheating scandal. And what I think is important to know is that happened in 2009. The Department of Education has worked with APS over the last several years, and the incidents of cheating in APS have all but been eliminated. So what we're dealing with are the carryovers, the trials, and all things that almost seem to continue to pick a scab off of the wound. Atlanta has made some great strides. They actually, in last year and this year, have a school that has been named a Georgia School of Excellence within their community. So they're making some good progress. Superintendent Davis has made some good things. But absolutely, those school board members will be key in keeping the image of Atlanta Public Schools moving in the right direction, and keeping I guess, looking at the strategic plan and making sure the system stays on course.
Yeah, and so the rebound has occurred, and we're moving forward.
Absolutely.
And we want to put all of this behind us. Getting good leaders in is important. What kinds of things, for our public, that's watching, what kinds of things would these board members be doing exactly? What do they do? Okay,
board members have 3 or 4 key responsibilities. One, they're responsible for the strategic plan of that district. They work with the superintendent to develop that strategic plan that will guide the district through the next several years. They're responsible for hiring the superintendent. That is critical. When you choose, that leader sets the tone for the district. They set the expectations for the leaders at the school level. They're hiring leaders at the school level. That is extremely important. They also evaluate the superintendent. And I think if we go back and we talk about the cheating scandal, evaluations of superintendents are really important. But then lastly, they have a key responsibility in the implementation of the budget and spending of the money.
And so for those that are running for the board, is there a specific campaign strategy that you see them following?
Well, I would recommend certain strategies. You talked about in the earlier segment, the Senate race and the dollars that are being raised. Personally, I think that we have the best form of government in the world. But I also think that if we put the wrong people in positions of government, we still have bad government. And so what voters need to do is make sure they are educating themselves. We have way too many uninformed voters who just look at TV ads or just listen to the radio ads or just see the print ads and base their opinion on those particular ads without going and doing the research themselves. And see, that's the issue is, in my opinion, that our election system and where we are as voters, we favor the wrong kinds of people. You know, the ones that can buy elections almost. You know, who spend the most money, in other words.
Popularity.
Right.
Buy ads, television ads, radio ads, things like that. Instead of really going in and dissecting these candidates and looking at what they stand for and what they want to do.
Absolutely. Which of these candidates is going to the people? Get back to grassroots. What is your message, and how are you communicating that message to the voters?
And so for these particular candidates, I mean, I think a lot of people may be hearing this for the first time, believe it or not, that there is an election on Tuesday, right? I mean, getting out the vote, I would imagine, is a big thing for all of the candidates as well, and for the voter, so that you can actually have your voice.
Right.
And so what is the turnout looking like? Do you have any clue?
Well, again, it's a general election, but because it's not a major election like a governor or, you know, the Senate or the president, people don't tend to be as responsive. But, you know, I beg the voters, go out and vote, because the future of the Atlanta public school system is critical in this election.
John Bartsch, thanks for being on the program.
Absolutely.
Great insight on that. And when we come back, stay with us. We have more, and we're talking about the race for Atlanta mayor and the hotly contested city council race. That's next on Public Affairs on Peach.